Jawad Daud, consultant Kodiak. I would like to welcome you all today for the conference of making future accessible, and let's see. Sorry. So the session is all about transforming lives using artificial intelligence, robotics, and assistive
Can you speak,
technology
Dr.
products.
Faizan, little louder?
Sure, can you hear me? Am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, sir. So the topic of this session is transforming lives using artificial intelligence, robotics, and assistive technology products. This session will be chaired by Dr. Mariam Malik. She is the Technical Advisor, Disability, Rehabilitation, and Road Safety, WHO Pakistan. And the panelists of this session are Dr. Mirza Ikhtiyar Beg, is the economist and chairman, Beg Group of Companies. Mr. Muzammil Islam, disability right activist, trainer, motivational speaker, and a life coach. Mr. Ali Shabar, CEO, Deaf Talk Interpretation Services Private Limited, and my co-host, Mr. Adib Ejaz Saab. He's the co-founder of Podiat Virtual. I welcome you all, and now we'll be formally starting the session for today. जब बात की जाती है ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन ऑफ लाइव्स और स्पेशली फॉर द पर्सन्स विद डिसेबिलिटीज, देखा जाता है कि आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस इज प्लेइंग अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल. रोबोटिक आर्म्स बन गए हैं, प्रोस्थेटिक लिम्स हैं, ये सारी ऐसी चीज़ें हैं, बहुत सारे ऐसे टूल्स हैं जो कि उन बच्चों को और पर्सन्स विद डिसेबिलिटीज़ को हेल्प कर रहे हैं टू कैरी आउट देयर लाइफ and providing them independent mobility as well. First of all, I would like to invite Mr. Ikhtiyar Beg Sahab, and he's Dr. Mirza Ikhtiyar Beg. He's the renowned industrialist and chairman of Beg Group of Companies. He's also the chairman of American Pakistan Business Development Forum, and he has been awarded with Tamka Imtiaz in recognition of his contribution to the national economy and the Order of Merit by the President of Yemen. Leader of Business Community and Senior Vice President, FPCCI. And before that, I would like to request Mr. Adib Ejaz to sir, please share a few words about this conference. Over to you, sir.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम डॉक्टर मलिक साहिबा, डॉक्टर मिर्जा इख्तियार बेग साहब, मुजम्मिल इस्लाम साहब और हमारी तमाम ऑडियंस, thank you very much for sparing your precious time to speak about this very important topic. In fact, we had a very fruitful discussion, and Dr. Mariam Malik had shared her wisdom about this same topic in year 2019, I think, if I'm not wrong, in December 2019, when we went to WHO. And actually, Podiak को मैं सिर्फ introduce करवा दूं. Podiak is an initiative to bring together all the stakeholders nationwide who are working for inclusion and empowerment of persons with disabilities into mainstream. तो Podiak Virtual ने वो कहते हैं सर कि हर क्राइसिस में कोई अपॉर्चुनिटी होती है, तो अपॉर्चुनिटी इस पेंडेमिक के क्राइसिस में ये हुई कि पॉडिएक जो है वो एक फिजिकल इवेंट से एक वर्चुअल डिजिटल इवेंट बना, और इट हैज मोर एंड मोर इट हैज बीन एंगेजिंग मोर एंड मोर पार्टिसिपेंट्स, स्टेक होल्डर्स. आज पाकिस्तान भर से इसमें सिर्फ नहीं बल्कि पाकिस्तान से बाहर से भी, पाकिस्तान बिजनेस काउंसिल दुबई, पाकिस्तान बिजनेस एंड प्रोफेशनल काउंसिल अबू धाबी, एमपाक, यूके पाकिस्तान बिजनेस काउंसिल, ये तमाम इसके स्टेक होल्डर्स में शामिल हैं जो पाकिस्तान के बाहर से इसमें पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं. और हमने कोशिश की है कि तमाम स्टेक होल्डर्स को आइडेंटिफाई करके इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे लेकर आएं और फ्रूटफुल डिस्कशन भी हों, इनके वर्चुअल बूथ भी हैं, हर एक को लेवल प्लेइंग ग्राउंड मिल रहा है कि वो अपनी काविशों को आप सबके सामने लाइमलाइट में लेकर आएं. आई विल नॉट टेक मच टाइम नाउ. थैंक यू डॉक्टर मरियम मलिक साहिबा, मिर्जा इख्तियार बेग साहब और मुजम्मिल इस्लाम साहब खास तौर पे पैनलिस्ट हमारे इस सेशन के. और इसके बाद मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा डॉक्टर फायदा से कि इसको फॉर्मली प्लीज put up your questions so that we can take the panelists on board. Thank you, Mr. Hamid.
फाइजा आपका माइक ऑफ है।
सॉरी सर। मैं ये कह रही थी कि असिस्टिव टेक्नोलॉजी प्रोवाइड्स अ गेटवे टू देयर लाइव्स। पर्सन्स विद डिसेबिलिटीज के लिए इट्स अ गेटवे। सर आप इस पर्सपेक्टिव पे क्या समझते हैं कि हाउ कैन दे हेल्प देम, हाउ कैन दीज असिस्टिव डिवाइसेस हेल्प देम टू ट्रांसफॉर्म देयर लाइव्स? सर ओवर टू यू।
Since I think Dr. Saab is not in the room now, तो मुजम्मिल साहब आप काइंडली इस क्वेश्चन को अपने अपने राय से आगाज कीजिएगा। जब डॉक्टर साहब आते हैं तो फिर हम उनसे भी
थैंक यू सो मच। क्या आप क्वेश्चन रिपीट कर सकते हैं? मैं क्योंकि
सॉरी अच्छा, पहले थोड़ा सा मैं इंट्रोडक्शन दे दूं मुजम्मिल इस्लाम साहब आपके बारे में कि इज़ अ परमानेंट व्हीलचेयर यूजर बाय बर्थ एंड सिंस 11 years of progressive professional experience with international development agencies in the field of project management, human rights, inclusive communities and disability welfare system and so on. And he is very much experienced in developing and conducting national and international training courses, managing and coordination at national and international projects. He has also done his graduation in economics and he has got international certification from different countries. तो मुज़म्मिल इस्लाम साहब प्लीज़ आप मुझे बताएंगे कि किस तरह से ये जो असिस्टिव डिवाइसेस हैं ये ट्रांसफॉर्म कर सकती हैं स्पेशल नीड्स को या पर्सन्स विद डिसेबिलिटीज़ को, क्या रोल प्ले कर सकती हैं?
थैंक यू फाइजा, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर द क्वेश्चन एंड माय इंट्रोडक्शन। जैसा कि आपको इल्म है कि पाकिस्तान में जो डिवाइसेस हैं पहले तो उनकी अवेलेबिलिटी बहुत कम है और कहा जाता है कि इवन की दुनिया के अंदर ओनली 110 पीपल हु कुड यूज असिस्टिव प्रोडक्ट्स हैव एक्सेस टू देम। अगर हम पाकिस्तान की बात करें तो पाकिस्तान में हालात थोड़े ज़्यादा मुख्तलिफ हैं और अगर हम लोग बात करें असिस्टिव टेक्नोलॉजी की तो पाकिस्तान के अंदर जो असिस्टिव टेक्नोलॉजी प्रोवाइड की जा रही है ये जो अवेलेबल है दैट इज़ वेरी ट्रेडिशनल टाइप ऑफ असिस्टिव टेक्नोलॉजी, बट दिस टाइम नहीं है। तो इस एडवांसमेंट में पीपल विद डिसेबिलिटीज को पार्टिसिपेशन के लिए इट इज नेसेसरी एक तो जो बेसिक असिस्टिव टेक्नोलॉजी है उसको प्रोवाइड करें, ना सिर्फ प्रोवाइड करें बल्कि असिस्टिव टेक्नोलॉजी जो है उसके साथ साथ हम उसको मजीद आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के थ्रू उसको मजीद एडवांसमेंट की तरफ लेकर आए। मिसाल के तौर पर मोर रिसेंटली अभी की बात करते हैं, ऑडियो बुक्स जो हैं, ऑडियो बुक्स वर क्रिएटेड एज अ वे फॉर द पीपल टू एंजॉय द लिटरेचर। Video captioning was to make content obedient with ADA के बाद क्योंकि people with visual impairment की ज़रूरत थी कि वो उसको जहाँ तक अगर उनके पास एक बुक है, हेलो
जी मुजम्मिल साहब, you are audible.
हेलो,
If we can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much. For example, more recently, audiobooks was created as a way for the people who are visually impaired, and video captioning was invented to make content obedient with the American Disabilities Act (ADA), which is a very famous act. और ग्लोबली हम लोग जब भी किसी कानून साजी की बात करते हैं डिसेबिलिटी अफेयर्स के ऊपर तो ADA को हमेशा हम एग्जाम्पल के तौर पे रखते हैं, but is regularly relied on by anyone watching video when they can't listen to the audio. हमने पीपल विद डिसेबिलिटी वो डिवाइसेस कंसिडर करनी हैं जो कि उनकी इम्पेयरमेंट बेस की ज़रूरियात हैं। मिसाल के तौर पे जब हम कोई भी डिवाइस डेवलप सो वी मस्ट लिसन द यूजर्स वॉइस। अगर हम यूजर वॉइस को कंसिडर नहीं करेंगे तो हमारे पास जो सिस्टम डिवाइसेस हैं उनकी नीड्स के मुताबिक नहीं आएंगी। अगर हम जहाँ पे आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस की बात करते हैं तो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के साथ हमें इस बात का बहुत ज़्यादा ख्याल रखना है कि हम कहीं दोबारा आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के ज़रिए या उसकी कॉन्सेप्ट में कहीं हम दोबारा 1960 1970s वाले कॉन्सेप्ट डिसेबिलिटी इंक्लूजन में तो नहीं चले जाते, क्योंकि आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस ज़्यादातर आपके मेडिकल पर्सपेक्टिव पे बात करती है, तो हमें थोड़ा सा इसमें थोड़ा सा ख्याल रखना है। बाकी जो हमारी जो पुराने तर्ज की सिस्टम टेक्नोलॉजी है उसको हमने रिप्लेस करना है एआई के साथ, ताकि मज़ीद जो इंडिपेंडेंस है, कहते हैं कि यूज़ मोर डिवाइसेस एंड मोर इंडिपेंडेंट। तो जितनी ज़्यादा हम डिवाइसेस इस्तेमाल करेंगे तो हम पीपल विद डिसेबिलिटीज़ को उतना इंडिपेंडेंट बना सकते हैं सोसाइटी में।
बिल्कुल 100% मैं एग्री करती हूँ आपकी इस बात से कि जी बिल्कुल एग्री करती हूँ। आई सेकंड यू। बात वही है कि सिर्फ 5 to 15% ऐसे लोग हैं जो कि एक्सेस कर पा रहे हैं इन सब असिस्टिव डिवाइसेस को, और तकरीबन WHO की ये रिसर्च भी थी कि मोर देन 1 बिलियन पीपल ऐसे हैं ग्लोबली जो कि ज़रूरत है जिनको असिस्टिव डिवाइसेस की, सच एज व्हील चेयर्स, प्रोस्थेटिक्स और हेयरिंग एड्स। तो बहुत कम ऐसी परसेंटेज देखी जा रही है जो कि इन चीज़ों को एक्सेस कर सकते हैं। Thank you so much for enlightening us. Now I would request Mr. Mirza Ikhtiyar Beg Saab. Sir, what do you think कि क्या हमारे पास as an economist, what do you think कि क्या हमारे पास इतनी resources हैं, या आप समझते हैं कि we are self-sufficient कि हम पाकिस्तान में ये सब technologies और इन सब assistive devices और through artificial intelligence हम इनकी lives को transform कर सकें?
Okay, it's a very good question. More on a practical side. First, I agree to my fellow colleague who just spoke before me that in Pakistan, accessibility and affordability are the serious issues of these equipment which can improve the standard of life of disabled people. But then if you look at it in more details, I think I will try to reply you that first of all, there should be machines, there are programs, there are apps, there are solutions whereby using them one can improve their lives. This is first thing. It is most important. People should not think if they're disabled, they will remain disabled the rest of their life. If some guy is paralyzed, before they used to spend all their life कि उसी तरह से गुजारता था. But now पहले तो we have to change the mindset of the people that in the new world, the modern world, there are tools, there are equipment, there are programs, there are solutions which are designed to improve their lives. This is first thing, is most important. Then second thing is accessibility to them. We have not seen any focal or central institution whereby this equipment can be supplied or training can be given or accessibility can be achieved. There's no one centralized or two centralized or three centralized bodies or department which are responsible for this important issue. Third then comes to affordability. Affordability means mostly these solutions are expensive. Mostly these equipment are expensive. You can't afford them. Poor man who is disabled is already into misery. Most of the people, they have financial constraint because of the situation. So it is very important that there should be arrangement that these people can afford this equipment. Now, how they can afford? Government cannot provide all this equipment. They're expensive. I think there should be NGOs specialized with this equipment to supply to handicapped people, where a lot of businessmen and philanthropists can donate, but with a specific purpose for these equipment only. And charity donations from philanthropists and from well-to-known business people. I am representing Business Committee, Federation of Pakistan Chamber of Commerce. If any institution approaches and asking for special donation for particular procurement of these equipment for handicapped people, I'll be delighted, because this is something new we never looked at and we never supported, because nobody approached us. So these are the 3-4 things we should do it at the various level to change the mindset of the people and make the life of the people more pleasant, more comfortable. And the time to come really is artificial intelligence, the robot, the audio books, the Google search engine. These are the equipment which will definitely change the life. But people should be aware about their usage. People can afford them directly or through various NGOs or even government body. This is my summation to your questions. Yes, Dr. Faiza, I think I've tried to address to your questions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your well.
Faiza, if I'm allowed to, can I add few points?
Yes, ma'am. Sure. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me. I think it's a real pleasure to be on this forum. And very timely, I would say, this event is being organized. And some very pertinent concerns which just been raised by the participants. Very quickly, I just want to brief about what is the situation right now for assistive technology in Pakistan, because that would generate more discussion, once everyone should know the background, what actually has happened up till now. I would take the point from Shafiq. He was in the first session and I was listening to him, and a very pertinent point which he raised was, give us mobility, And when we talk about assistive technology, it is the first step towards any other development process. A person who is amputated would be needing prosthesis the first thing in the morning. A paralyzed, a spinal cord injury or a polio patient using wheelchair would be needing the wheelchair the first thing. The one low vision devices, they would be needing their device, to start their day. So that is a most important thing is when we talk about the importance of assistive technology in the life of persons with disabilities. So now, awareness. Again, Mirza Saab has raised an important thing. We do not have awareness. What we are talking right now is that Pakistan, there are only 3, and focus already has been on 3 devices, which is like wheelchair, white cane, and hearing aids. So that was one of the things which I really want to bring, that now we really have moved ahead technology. And it constitutes around 50 assistive products. And these assistive products are not only in the domain of only physical, hearing, visual, which is very important, but also coordination, communication, and empowerment and environment. So in all these domains, 50 products, and these products were not imposed by the states, but a very intensive exercise was undertaken globally, where all the member states were involved through consensus building with the person with disabilities, with the stakeholders, with the caregivers. It was decided that these are the 50 assistive products which are beneficial, which are essential for persons with disabilities. And then I would like to add the role of Pakistan. And we should be extremely proud how Pakistan has led globally improving access to assistive technology. Pakistan was the one who tabled the global resolution on assistive technology that was adopted by 94 member states. Pakistan was the one who tabled the regional resolution on assistive technology for Eastern Mediterranean region, and that was also adopted. Pakistan was the first country to host a meeting of 22 countries of Eastern Mediterranean region, a strategic framework on improving access to assistive technology. And then now this 50 product, they have been adopted as a national list. And First Lady was gracious enough to launch this in 2019. So these 50 products are now being adopted as a national list of assistive technology for Pakistan. And Pakistan Baitul Mal, which I would again, as we discussed, I'll bring up this point. But the awareness is like, now we need to create awareness that there are not only 3 products, there are 50 products in 6 different domains, which can be beneficial for a person with disability. Share that list and you can share with the participants as well. So this is briefly, and I will keep on adding to, some points which would be raised by the participants. But we should be very clear, that 50 products, we have to work to create awareness. And the Honorable President chaired a meeting with the Chamber of Commerce in Sindh, I remember, and commerce can really play a great role in that. Most important thing is that we need to support local manufacturers. We need to develop our capacity for manufacturing locally assisted products. And that's how we are going to bring the prices down. Now it is the monopoly of the manufacturers. They can ask for any price, and they can do that. So commerce can help in that, in supporting the local manufacturers, how they can, build the capacity can be built, and how we can, start producing, if not 50, at least 25, which products, at the national level, which can be of great use and for beneficial, and that could increase the affordability, what we are talking about. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. बिल्कुल, I agree with you 100%. ये सिर्फ हमारा ही रोल नहीं है, सिर्फ WHO या किसी ऐसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का रोल नहीं जो ये सब सपोर्ट प्रोवाइड करे, ये पूरी सिविल सोसाइटी आई थिंक, और जितने भी स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं इसके अंदर इन्वॉल्व होने चाहिए, ताकि हर एक का एक्सेसिबिलिटी का मतलब ही एक्सेस है, एबिलिटी टू एक्सेस, तो हम इंश्योर करें हर तरह से कि द पर्सन विद द डिसेबिलिटी उस चीज़ को प्रॉपरली यूटिलाइज कर सकें. Now I would like to invite Mr. Ali Shabar, and he's the Chief Executive Officer, co-founder of Deaf Talk, having 14 years of diverse experience working in the corporate and the development sector. He initiated Disability Inclusive Business Process and the founder of the Pakistan Mobile App Awards. He worked with the World Bank on the empowerment of persons with disabilities on the Asia Pacific level. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. And sir, आप बताइए कि आप किन challenges को face करते आए हैं since इतना time हो गया आपको भी इस movement में struggle करते हुए, और आपकी जो भी इसके अंदर रही हैं challenges, वो भी हमको बताइए, और जो आपकी organization कर रही है इस सिलसिले में, वो भी please हमारे साथ share कीजिएगा.
Thank you, Ms. Fiza, and thank you, Dr. Maria Malik, for hosting a wonderful conference indeed. Deaf Talk, by the name, it suggests that we are working for the empowerment of deaf community. And here we are not talking about the minority. It's 9 million in Pakistan and 500 million globally. Are facing a communicational barrier whenever they visit to a doctor or either in a classroom, even communicating with the general public. They are unable to pass on their message just because of limited sign language interpreters around. And as Dr. Mariam was talking about the assistive technology, sign language is one of the key components of interpretation, is a key component of assistive technology. And through the limited access to quality sign language interpreters, deaf community been left behind. Deaf Talk is primarily a mobile application, which is available on both iOS and Android platform. And it works like an Uber or Careem model. It's a marketplace where we connect deaf users with qualified sign language interpreter via video calling solution. So in that way, whenever deaf person visits to a doctor or in a classroom, he or she easily connect to an interpreter, maximum of 30 seconds of duration, and able to communicate with the general public on very, very affordable rates. We piloted from Pakistan and now scale these services to Singapore and Sri Lanka as well. Our head office in Singapore. That's how we are operating. It's a corporate model. It's a tech ecosystem which is developing in Pakistan. As we are talking about technology, and technology plays a very, very vital role in order to adopt assistive measures. And currently, if we're talking about the arena, it's the digital arena. Everybody is paradigm shifting towards digital evolution. It's either it's a corporate sector, it's a banking sector, or it's an e-commerce platform. And there is a key need of utilizing the digital platform as an assistive technology. And yeah, so on that particular note, as we are talking about the digital arena, there is a lot of assistive technology available on that particular portfolio. We are talking about artificial intelligence. We have been talking about voice over IP, which is one of the key initiatives across the globe, particularly if we talk about the US market, that we are students and how deaf community is using that VoIP services. In order to engage that, we haven't talked about the 3D modeling. Again, it's a assistive technology, and more importantly, it talks about the social inclusion. There are a lot of social media platforms. However, we talk about the inclusion of persons with disability then. YouTube is one of the masses which you can embrace for awareness, and it's a real platform to earn a huge amount of revenue for not only for yourself, but for the country as well. But how many deaf people, how many physical disabilities are using that platform because of limited access assistive technology available over there? So this is the things now we should embark on that particular part, that how we can evolve technology to be very much accessible for blind, for hearing impairment, and more important for intellectual disabilities, which we always left behind. And now it's a right time because Google is very much optimistic for adopting accessibility. They have its own huge accessibility department. Facebook has their own huge accessibility department. Amazon, they are the key giants in technology. Microsoft, Tesla is coming in Pakistan. It's an autonomous car. Again, it's a assistive technology, not for the blind, but for the physical users who cannot drive, even for the hearing impairment. So now is the right time to link on these giants and talk about that how their technology can be fully accessible for persons with disability. And when we talk about the fully accessible, it means adopting the whole requirement of all disabilities, not one or two. Because unfortunately, due to limited resources, we always tap on and embark on few disabilities, one or two, which are low-hanging one, like physical one or blind sometimes. But we always left behind the deaf, and we always left behind the intellectual disabilities. So it's at the right time that we should embark on that, how we can adopt and how can we include that holistic approach towards the inclusion of person with disabilities in the tech arena. Because this, as I said, ecosystem is developing, not only in Pakistan, but globally. We found a lot of great exits, like Kareem has just recently exited, Slack has recently exited, and they are the whole tech bios. We need now a right awareness campaign or a tech solution who can provide them the technology accessibility. Unfortunately, currently, there are limitations in the disability movement that people are not equipped in order to adopt their technologies and not talking about their technologies. But there are platforms where we can build our capacity, not our, but as a holistic, as a group, where we talk about that inclusion part. Because this is the future now. AI is the future, VoIP is the future. SDKs, APKs are the future now. People will not talk about the ramps. People will not maybe talking about the elevators, because during COVID, the paradigm has shifted towards the digital arena. And now it's a real time to talk about how to make digital space accessible for all persons with disabilities.
Thank you so much, Ali Shabar, for enlightening us and sharing your expertise and your knowledge with us. Mr. Rashid has raised his hand. Do you have a question, sir?
Zoom meeting.
So we'll move further, and now I would like to request Dr. Maria Malik. So please, ma'am, share your experiences and what kind of support can WHO provide to this community, and what other reforms have you planned for addressing this issue?
I would take liberty to add, ma'am, if you could also enlighten us about the assistive technologies Ali Shabar Saab has spoken about for intellectual disabilities.
Thank you, Deep Saab and Faisal. First, I would like to talk about some figures. There are many firsts for Pakistan, as I mentioned, the first country to lead and the first country to do so many initiatives. And one of the most important initiatives was to conduct a survey, which was Rapid Assistive Technology Survey. We call it RATA survey. Pakistan was the first country globally who conducted this survey, and the figures were really alarming. And according to that survey, 1 out of 4 in the country, they need assistive technology. And this survey was across Pakistan, and there were around 65,000 respondents. So 1 out of 4, they need assistive technology, some kind of assistive technology, and in all the domains, when we talk about hearing, visual, physical, intellectual, communication, cognition, environment. So that, and the other figure was that 93% of the population is spending out of pocket. And the contribution of public sector is only 3.4% for provision of assistive technology. So these are alarming figures, and almost 70% is the public sector, which are providing assistive technology. And of course, and that is one of the reasons, that when we talk about the pricing of the assistive technology, when we talk about affordability of the assistive technology, because since the government is only responsible for around 4%, so the private sector is actually taken that responsibility. But now I would say, there are many good things happening in Pakistan. And the most important thing is the commitment of the government and the political will. We have never seen this kind of a conducive environment before. Like, I've been in this sector for decades. But really, the kind of commitment which is being exhibited by the government is extraordinary. Just to give few examples. Initially, what was happening was, even take a wheelchair. So there were no standards. There were no specifications, Anything can be like, be selling, at the name of wheelchairs. Even a child of 5 years and an adult of 45 years, they were using the same sizes. So there's no concept of customized wheelchair. So one thing which WHO has done is that for every 50 products, there are specifications. We have developed specifications for each and every product. And the best thing has happened is that Pakistan Baitul Mal, and we have a very dynamic MD, Baitul Mal, who has really done wonders in improving access to assistive technology. Baitul Mal has adopted those specifications. And it is for the first time in 29 years of Pakistan Baitul Mal that the tender has been floated with wheelchairs based on WHO specifications. So which is, I think, a huge progress in the field of assistive technology. And same thing we are doing for everything, you know, for hearing, for visual, for other domains. Every product which is going to be procured by Baitul Mal would be based on WHO specifications. Initially, you know that everything was being sold at the name of assistive technology, and you can get assistive technology which there was no quality, there was no standard. So now this is the thing which government has taken, and I think this is a landmark initiative. And what WHO is doing is that for every product, we have developed training manuals. These are videos, and these are for the users, for the caregivers, and for the service providers, and very simple. So those videos have been developed, and now we are in the process of translating them in local languages so that everyone using an assistive technology can download it in their telephone apps as the apps, and they can utilize it. So that is very important, because one thing which I want to mention here is, this is a global figure, that around 70% of people who are using assistive products, they abandoned it. वो use नहीं करते, they just abandoned it. One, because they don't fit the size and it is not customized. And second, they're not been trained on that. So that is one of the things which is like, you know, that WHO has kept. Just to give you a very small example, you know, a wheelchair which is not according to the size can create so many secondary disabilities, starting from contractures of the heels, from the ankle joint to knee joint to hip joint, the spinal cord and the vertebral column, it can be different. That is one wheelchair. So every specification now is being based on WHO specifications, and the project already, we had 16 districts where we did the RATA survey. We had the figures, and in these 16 districts, already we have launched the provision of customized wheelchair. So that is one thing. Now, again, in the morning session, Zamani Saab, again, he brought up a very valid point that there is a disconnect between the federal and the provincial level. What federal is doing, the provincial level, they don't know. And what provinces are doing, the federal level, they don't know. So what Pakistan Baitul Mal has done, that we have now, it was at the request of WHO, to have a national steering committee on assistive technology. So the mandate of that assistive technology, that steering committee, it has got all the provincial representatives, and it is basically to bring all the stakeholders at one page, that these are the things. So if federal is adopting WHO specifications, so provinces should also do the same. And province should also, like, you know, their procurement should also be like based on WHO specifications. It is a huge step. It is not a small thing, you know. So what we are doing is that we have worked with the federal government. Now we are working towards with the provincial government. And a very good news is that we have signed an MOU with China, Ministry of Health, Pakistan, with the support of WHO. We have, and that is going to be a game changer for Pakistan, because the giants of assistive technology in the world, they are the Chinese CDPF. This is our organization which is working for assistive technology, and Pakistan has signed an MOU. And it was in the presence of the two prime ministers, when the Prime Minister Imran Khan went to China. And with that kind of a thing, we are going to have, because of COVID, the things have slowed down, but this is going to, they are going to help us in supporting local manufacturing. And again, I stress, it is so important. If we want to have bulk production, if we want to bring down the prices, if we want to break the monopoly of the manufacturers, we need to promote the local manufacturing, and that is extremely important. So China is going to help us in doing that. in transfer of technology from China to Pakistan, in starting assistive technology centers in every province. Mirza Saab had raised this point, that we do not have a centralized or any platform where, we can get all these things. So these are important things, which we are going to do, that to establish assistive technology centers in every province. And those centers are going to be hub for the training, for the provision, and not only that, for maintenance, follow-up, because I mean, assistive technology, if you give assistive technology a brace or a wheelchair to a child, the moment, I mean, the child is growing and he or she would be needing replacements, they would be needing follow-up. So we need to have that kind of a setup. So that is a very promising thing. And for, again, Shabar has mentioned about artificial intelligence. That is going to be used, and that is one of the component which we have signed with the China MOU also. Because what we have seen in China about assistive technology, the robotics, and the kind of softwares they have developed, it is amazing, to see that. So that MOU is going to support Pakistan in having that kind of a technology. But the thing is, we have to take certain steps, like, it is not in, like, over days or months, we are going to have it. WHO launched 50 assistive product list, and that list was launched by our Federal Minister of Health at that time, Dr. Sara Afzal Tarar, at the World Health Assembly. So we have 50. Out of 50, we said it is difficult for the countries to go for the 50 products. So out of 50, again, we selected 25 most important priority assistive products. So that is the first step. That first, at least we are able to make those products available when we talk about affordability, when we talk about accessibility, when we talk about acceptability. That is also important. It is important that should be available at the primary healthcare level. So WHO is now working with the provinces, with the federal level, that we really want that these things should be available at the provincial level. And as Dr. Palitha, our head of WHO, mentioned, that it has to be bottom-up approach, till the time from grassroots level we are going to identify the challenges and then to go up, it will be difficult for us. So that is the thing which I think the provinces should start working on making their own list. We have a national list, but every province has to come up with their own list depending upon their need, upon their context, their resources. And again, WHO is working with them, so the phase wise, how we are going to start it. So things are improving, and it is a paradigm shift. And when I call it paradigm shift, it is a shift from charity to right-based approach. It is just not, donations. Welfare thing is like, under the name of welfare, wheelchair distribution. So we have done welfare for person with disability. That concept is no more. It is from charity to a right-based approach, from no to one size fit to customized products. That should be the slogan, and that is what WHO is working with the government. And I'm really happy about the progress, because the response of the government is great. This is now the slogan of Pakistan Baitul Mal: say no to one size fit for all, and from charity to right-based approach. So this is kind of the mindset which we need when we are talking about improving access to assistive technology. And I'm looking through the chats also, like, and very pertinent questions about intellectual disabilities. So that is one of course, one of the things very much neglected, which needs a lot of focus. And you will be happy to know that, for these assistive products, special focus has been on intellectual disabilities also. And one of the clauses in the MOU for China, we are specifically focused on that how they can support Pakistan to have intellectual, we can improve when we talk about the empowerment of intellectual disabilities. So I think, we are in, the government is in the right direction. WHO is fully supporting the government. What we are talking right now, maybe 2 years back, it was just a dream, customized wheelchair, that was, we could never think. Based on WHO specifications, we could never think, but now actually this thing is happening in Pakistan. So that kind of the vision is there, and we are working for that. And in another 2-3 years, you will see, there is going to be a paradigm shift. Thank you.
It's very impressive and very important insight you have shared, ma'am, with us here. मैं इससे आगे डिस्कशन बढ़ाता हूँ कि अगर डॉक्टर मिर्जा इख्तियार बेग साहब के गोशगुजार एक क्वेश्चन करूँगा कि वो उनकी विजडम हम इसमें यहाँ पे शेयर कर सकें कि सर जैसे डॉक्टर मरियम मलिक ने बताया है कि इतनी प्रोग्रेस हो रही है और एक बहुत बड़ी पॉपुलेशन है जो असिस्टिव डिवाइसेस या टेक्नोलॉजीज या असिस्टेंस ना होने की वजह से इनएक्टिव है पाकिस्तान में, और उसका यकीनन बीइंग एन इकोनॉमिस्ट आप जानते हैं कि उसका जीडीपी पे एक बहुत बुरा असर पड़ता है। और अगर जिन लोगों को हम इंटीग्रेट कर रहे हैं मेन स्ट्रीम में, उनके आने से सर कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर में बहुत फर्क पड़ा है। लाइक आई वुड गिव एन एग्जांपल ऑफ सम टेक्सटाइल सेक्टर कंपनीज who have hired hard to hire people as for tailoring and other jobs, तो वहां पे उनकी जो प्रोडक्टिविटी है और जो दूसरों की प्रोडक्टिविटी है उसमें बहुत फर्क है। मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा बाकी स्पीकर्स के अलावा कि अगर प्लीज अपने माइक्स जो आप म्यूट कर रहे हैं।
मैं एक जरा सा I would like to just add one point. I'm Dr. Mirza Ikhtiar Beg. I just want to add one point. Dr. Mariam has so ably covered most of the questions, most of the issues which we really wanted to discuss today. She has covered it very ably. हमें एक चीज still I just wanted to know for myself, if there is any data available of the handicapped people in Pakistan. I've not found any data as such, because you are also academic. You are well aware about the resolution passed at the global forums and WHO and all. Do you have any data of the Pakistanis disabled people, and preferably, if possible, I again say if possible, age-wise or gender-wise, so we can help to let Federation of Pakistan Chamber of Commerce be involved and our leading businessmen be involved to take some responsibility of the priority sectors which you feel are more important. So let's converge somewhere where we can start with. This is what I'm trying to say. Dr. Mariam.
Yeah. Thank you, Mirza Saab. I think it is, a very burning issue for every one of us who's working in the disability sector. The census of 1998, it was 2.49%, and unfortunately, we were looking forward for census of 2017, but the question was not added to regarding disability. Although WHO has worked with the census department, we added 2 questions. It was even in the training manual of the census, but unfortunately the questionnaire which was used was the one which was the smaller version, so it was not. But then person with disabilities, of course, they made a lot of hue and cry, and then one question was added on the directives of the Supreme Court. But I mean, look at the data. It was 0.47%. So 0.49 in 98. So in 2017, it was 0.47. So we don't even that data is not authentic data. But WHO has conducted 2 surveys. One was in Ziyarat and one was the figures from those surveys, they cannot be national figures. We can't call it as a national prevalence rate of disability. But in Attock, it was 15%, and it was in Ziyarat, it was 16.6%, which shows, I mean, census of 2017 is saying 0.47%. These 2 surveys based on international standards, we call model disability survey. And the good thing about the survey is it doesn't talk only about disability. It talk about the environmental barriers as well. It talk about, are they using assistive technology or not? So it is a very comprehensive. And you can go, the participant can Google it also, model disability survey. So that has 15%. So this is a tip of an iceberg, If two districts are giving like, 15% and 16%, so you can just well imagine what about, the other. So we do not have data. We do not have an authentic data. But the good thing is that Pakistan Demographic Health Survey, they have added a question for disabilities. They have a little bit of data. And PSLM survey, and there's another survey, they also have data. But if you talk about a comprehensive data which covers all aspects, not only talking about the disability, because the thing is, the instructions to the interviewers were not to knock a door and ask, that kya aapke ghar mein koi mazur hai? Because nobody is going to, even people don't want, and they don't admit it. They want to hide there, So it was like, क्या आपके घर में कोई ऐसा शख्स मौजूद है जिसको कि रोजमर्रा के कामों में दुश्वारी होती है? So that was the question. So कहने का मकसद ये है, for data we really need to have a robust, authentic data, and for this WHO is now starting at the ICT level, in the federal level. We are going to conduct a model disability survey, and we are requesting the provinces also, like, we are looking for the funds. If we got the funds, inshallah, we are going to have this thing for province. One thing which I would like to request the Chamber of Commerce is, I mean, there is a lot of CSR, corporate sector responsibility. There's a lot of money. It needs to be channelized. How that money, every organization, and that is the debate. And President Sahab has, and First Lady meeting with the Chamber of Commerce, and that question was raised, how Chamber can, and Chamber have got a lot of resources, I tell you, when you talk about employment for persons with disability, when we talk about initiatives, using channelized that corporate sector responsibility funds which you people have, that can be channelized in a very strategic way, and lot can be done for a person with disabilities and for the empowerment of person with disability, I would say.
Dr. Mariam, you said it is 15 to 16% handicapped people in Pakistan as per those two surveys conducted.
Let me clarify again. These were the survey in two districts. Ziyarat 16%, Attock 15%. We cannot call it as a national prevalence rate. It was not across Pakistan.
I know, but it was 15 or 16, right?
Yes, 15% in Ziyarat and 16% in Ziyarat.
Okay.
And so this is a lot of disparity between what census is and what the actual reality is. Thank you.
I would like to add one comment. I am Muzammil. We recently have conducted a survey in KP, and according to that data, from that data, the families of children with disability, about 98% are not well familiar about the disability certificate. Disability certificate वो कागज है, एक A4 साइज पेपर है जिसके थ्रू और हुकूमत पाकिस्तान को इल्म है होना है कि हमारा कोई पीपल विद डिसेबिलिटी या चिल्ड्रन विद डिसेबिलिटी किस एरिया में रहता है या रहते हैं, ये टोटल नंबर ऑफ पॉपुलेशन हमारे पास क्या है। जो सर्वे कंडक्ट किया उसमें 96% उनकी फैमिलीज उनकी नहीं है, कोई डिसेबिलिटी सर्टिफिकेट नामी चीज भी पाकिस्तान में पाई जाती है। तो हम फिर डेटा का सिचुएशन हम बता सकते हैं कि जो हमारा 2017 में जो डेटा हमारे पास आया है तो वो कैसा डेटा है फिर।
Muzammil, I would like to answer your question. बहुत pertinent है. I mean, I think this is one of the things, and I tell you, it is close to the heart of President Sahab and the First Lady. हमारी कितनी मीटिंग्स हो चुकी हैं। अभी पेशावर में WHO ने हमने 2 अभी तक किए हैं, डायलॉग्स ऑफ प्रेसिडेंट विद पर्सन विद डिसेबिलिटी। एक हमने इस्लामाबाद में WHO ने ऑर्गेनाइज किया और एक हमने KPK में किया। और KPK में मेजॉरिटी का यही इशू था, डिसेबिलिटी सर्टिफिकेट। एंड वन ऑफ एक DC थे बनू के, he had set an example. उन्होंने ये किया कि उन्होंने ऑडिटोरियम में 2 दिन रखे, 22 अक्टूबर, वहां पे उन्होंने सबको बुला लिया। डिसेबिलिटी जो मेडिकल बोर्ड है उसको, जो सोशल वेलफेयर के लोग हैं जो इशू करते हैं डिसेबिलिटी, नादरा के लोग, अखुवत के लोग, जो वहां पे एम्प्लॉयमेंट की असेसमेंट करते हैं वो लोग, मतलब देयर वर 12 डिफरेंट डेस्क्स, और वहां पे आके उन्होंने विद इन 1 डे, प्रेसिडेंट साहब ने ये, मेरे हाथ में वो इश्तेहार था और मैं उसको मॉडरेट कर रही थी, तो मैंने उनको दिखाया, मैंने कहा सर ये प्रेसिडेंट सेट हुआ है बन्नू में, एक DC साहब ने किया है। एंड इट वाज जस्ट 2 days, लेकिन हजारों लोग उससे बेनिफिट हुए। लेकिन अभी जो है, जो उसी मीटिंग में प्रेसिडेंट साहब ने डायरेक्टिव्स दिए थे कि 1 विंडो ऑपरेशन, यही हम यहाँ पे कर रहे हैं। डिसेबिलिटी सर्टिफिकेट, इट शुड नॉट बी लाइक कि आप पहले सोशल वेलफेयर डिपार्टमेंट जाएं, वहां से आप मेडिकल बोर्ड में जाएं, वहां से आपको डिसेबिलिटी सर्टिफिकेट दें, फिर आप नादरा के ऑफिस में आए, वहां पे आपको सर्टिफिकेट बने। इट हैज टू बी 1 विंडो। तो मैं आपको ये बताना चाह रही हूँ कि गवर्नमेंट इस पे बहुत भरपूर तरीके से काम कर रही है कि 1 विंडो ऑपरेशन डिसेबिलिटी सर्टिफिकेट के लिए हर जगह पे जो है ये शुरू होगा, और इंशाल्लाह वेरी सून यू विल सी द चेंजेस। थैंक यू।
Thank you, Dr. Saiba. We have initiated the same program in KP. जैसे कि आपने जिक्र किया, पेशावर में मीटिंग हुई थी, तो अभी यहाँ पे ये सेम प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट हो चुका है।
थैंक यू मुजम्मिल इस्लाम साहब। एंड बिल्कुल पोडियक का मकसद भी यही है कि ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म क्रिएट किया जाए सबके लिए कि ये सब जो रिसोर्सेज हैं ये चैनलाइज हो सके और उन लोगों तक पहुंच सके जो वाकई इसके हकदार हैं। Let me thank you, all of you, for your time and valuable insights. And indeed, you all are shaping an important dialogue and offering options for the policy making in place that countries like Pakistan can use to advance sustainable development. I would like to thank once again Dr. Mariam Malik, Technical Advisor and Disability and WHO Representative, Dr. Mirza Ikhtiyar Beg, Mr. Muzammil Islam, Ali Shabar, and Ali Shabar, thank you. Deaf Talk Interpretation Services, thank you at the Sham, हमारे sign language interpreter for today's session, and all the sponsors who has come to support this session. Thank you very much, and here I will conclude the session for today. एंड एक बात और बता देती हूँ कि हमारी एग्जीबिशन जो है वो ऑनलाइन जारी है। आप यू कैन विजिट द वेबसाइट और वहाँ पे बहुत सारी ऐसी सर्विसेज हैं जो कि ये सारी सर्विसेज जो कि आप लोगों तक पहुँचनी चाहिए, वो सब एग्जीबिटर्स वहाँ पे मौजूद हैं। डू विजिट अवर वेबसाइट एंड आई एम साइनिंग ऑफ फ्रॉम दिस सेशन नाउ, ओवर एंड आउट। थैंक यू एंड हैव अ गुड डे। अल्लाह हाफिज़।
Thank you all. Thank you.
Allah Hafiz.
Thank you, Ji. Very well conducted.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Saiba. Thank you.
Thank you, Ji.
Thank you.